Here with associate head coach Troy Thibodeau. Miami off this week before a trip to Lindenwood next weekend, and we'll take some questions.
Tibbs, congratulations on the 4-0 start.
Yeah, thanks.
How is that felt? How different does it feel right now from a year ago?
Yeah, I mean, before I get into like the coach speak of how long of a year it is and whatever else, it's exciting. You know, we've been excited about this group since they got here. They just have a different way about them. I think Anthony's talked a lot about how we've had to win in different ways so far this year too, which is exciting for us. And just from an overall program perspective and people that put a lot of time and effort into this thing since the second we got hired, and, you know, from all the way up to David and Brad and all the way down to our recruits and things like that. Yeah, it's exciting. You know, you play this game to win. It's not what we talk about. We're more of a habit-driven program, and the results kind of take care of themselves. But yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, you can feel a little bit of buzz around town, and that's what it should be like here. You know, this place is special, and yeah, I don't know of a better student-athlete experience when we get this thing to where we want it to get to from a hockey standpoint. And so yeah, it's an exciting start for sure.
You mentioned the buzz around town. Certainly seen buzz around town, buzz amongst alumni, both former players and fans, and there's clearly a buzz and a confidence in the locker room. But how do you kind of manage? Go ahead and give me the coach speak. How do you manage the expectations between you want to be confident, but you don't want to be overconfident? How do you really balance that?
Yeah, honestly, like within our walls, I think Anthony's talked about it again. Like we have core values that we've kind of created from day one with this group, and that's like where our day-to-day focus is. So we try to just be really good today. I mean, there's signs around here: everyday player, everyday program. We try to be really good every day. And so yesterday we had a great practice. And then today we did some skills work, forwards and D. We were great there. And you just kind of turn the page. There's naturally from, 18 to 24-year-old guys, there's natural like, oh, this is exciting, and get ahead of yourselves a little bit. But again, I think because of the types of people we brought into that locker room, we've talked about this enough, there's a lot of leaders in there. So I think even if they're freshmen, they have a pretty good awareness of kind of, hey, this is a long stretch, starting with Lindenwood on the road with another new coach that we're going to play, and then obviously getting into our league play. It's a different beast. And so we have to stay focused on that every day, especially with an off week right now with all this buzz. But don't want to shy away from it. You want to build off of it, but also we can't get too far ahead of ourselves either. We just got to win today and then turn the page and do it again tomorrow.
Had a shutout this week, played pretty good defensive hockey through the first couple weekends, but what's it been like on the other side to just have so much more depth with your scoring and your offense than you had last year, and how has that kind of changed how you guys approach things?
Yeah, it helps. It helps to win games. We haven't played nearly a perfect game in our eyes. I don't know if we ever will, but it helps, man, because even against RPI, those games were tighter than the scores, obviously indicate. I mean, we're down 2 on Friday, but even the game on Saturday was a pretty even game. Mateo made some massive saves in key moments, and then we got some big-time plays in key moments too from big-time players. And, that's when you're not necessarily at your best, that's how you have to win on the road. You have to get good goaltending, and you have to have your best players, be your best players. And I think that's what we had this weekend. And then, again, the results came with that, which was nice.
Talked already about kind of managing the hype machine, so to speak, through this bye week. But what's it like for you as a coach, just getting that extra week to push your guys, but also really dissect how these first 4 games have gone for you?
Yeah, it's nice. I think as a player, they probably want to play again this weekend, and us as a coaching staff, you want to just keep going and feed off of it. But it is a good time for us. Our guys have been here for a while. We had them in mid-August, and it's a good week for us. We're doing a lot of development meetings, one-on-one stuff this week. We're really working on guys like individual games of what they need to get better at. So it's nice because when you're in the rhythm of game weekend after weekend, it's hard to really work on that from an individual perspective because they're getting themselves ready and prepared for Friday night. So this is a good week for us to take a step back with each individual and talk through their development and how they think they've gotten better or areas they need to get improve on. And that's what this week has been about for us is improving, each individual and getting us ready for the following week. So
Have you seen, you talk about the development, how have you seen the team develop? You can see them in practice over and over and over again, but until you get into a game, it's when you really find out like who's a gamer, who's there, who's going to carry you at the end. How have you seen this team develop and the individuals on the team develop?
Yeah, I mean, it's development takes time. Like even they've been here for about 2 months. You've definitely seen some individuals take a step with their game, but a lot of it, honestly, like you just kind of watch early on. Even the times we weren't allowed to be on the ice yet, you're watching and you're kind of seeing, what certain tendencies guys have and where guys' games are. Because you think, bring 21 new guys and you think where guys are at, but you don't really know until you see them on the ice and see them in games. So, like even with like Kocha and Giampa coming from Canisius and Ilya, that's a line where you think they're going to be pretty good, but you really don't know until they get on the ice. And so, obviously those three guys, the way they've kind of taken off here, their I guess development has ramped up, but even depth guys that we have and things like that. And it seems like everyone has a pretty competitive way about them that just throughout practice every week, those reps are so competitive that we're just naturally getting better. Playing through physicality and playing with second effort because the guys around them that are defending them in practice are forcing that out of them. And I think that's been one of the most exciting thing from a coaching standpoint is our practices are night and day different from last year. Just from a competitive standpoint, we're not running around hitting each other, but we're making each other better in every rep, and that's what we ask for the guys. But
You mentioned Anthony talking about winning in a lot of different ways so far.
Yeah.
Last year we talked a lot about. It felt like last season. It felt like you were really close in a lot of games. You carry a lead into the third. You've got a lead late, and just we talked plenty of times. You and I, Anthony and I, about finding a way to win, learning how to win, and getting that win. And it was elusive last year. This year, you've come from behind a couple of times. You've played with a lead. You've shut somebody out. How has that helped to learn how to win in a lot of different scenarios, especially getting into really the meat of the schedule coming up a little bit later this year?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think it always helps going through different situations. It helps you throughout the year. But I think the biggest thing for us, we just keep going back to, we were very intentional when we recruited this incoming class, whether it was a transfer, whether it was an incoming freshman, and obviously Nyzie does a bulk of that, but we had to make sure that we checked that character box and that competitive box for every guy. And yeah, we had a lot of guys that were leaders on teams last year, so Anthony's talked about it, but our energy on the bench, our talk on the bench has been outstanding, whether we were down, Friday night of game one going into the third, whether we give up a late lead, it's been very consistent. And again, we've been drilling that into the guys about being a habit-driven team and sticking to our core values, and whatever happens, just next play. And this group truly values that, and I think they value it with their words and their actions, because that ultimately it's contagious on the bench. When they're saying the right things after a goal, for, goal against, whatever it might be, whatever the situation in the game, it's been nice to almost take a step back on the bench during games and let them take ownership in it as a group. And we've got some great leaders in there. So that's been awesome. And I honestly, with Mateo playing well, but we really haven't felt that we've been out of a game or that nervous that we're going to lose a game late. We've been very confident, late in games. And again, I think that's because guys are willing to do anything to block a shot. Their energy on the bench is contagious. This is a group that is very much in it together, early on. We haven't lost a game yet. We haven't gone through some real adversity, but I think when we do, we'll handle it the right way.
Here with sophomore defenseman Vladislav Lukashevich, Miami off this week, and then at Lindenwood next week, and we'll take some questions.
Vlad, welcome to the team.
Thank you.
First opportunity to talk with you, and I just want to get your feelings. Tell me, how has the sort of getting to Miami been for you, the transfer, and how you've gotten to grow and be a part of this team?
So actually, it was like pretty hard work from Miami and like me, because like the visa stuff is kind of hard to get right now for like Russians. So it was pretty tough summer for me, but like guys are helped me a lot this summer. So I'm here right now. So I'm so happy that I'm here. So I've been through a lot.
First few games under your belt here, and things have gone your way. That has to help the locker room to get out to the first 4 wins. What does that do to build morale, and how do you kind of take it one day at a time and not let that sort of affect you or get too overconfident?
I don't know. I mean, like, I'm not that young to be like after like score a goal or something to be like, I don't don't know, too excited about it or something. I just know that I have to like play my game, like every single shift, every single game. That's all.
What was it like coming from a program that was obviously in a very good spot, that was already winning, and kind of experiencing that and trying to bring some of those ideas over to this program that's in more of a rebuild?
I would say like this program is great too. Actually, I wouldn't say that the program is better or something. I mean, like it's great team, great coaches, great program, and like now we're like winning actually. So yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, it's fun.
What's the energy been like around your team these first couple weekends? It's felt different than years past. Obviously, you haven't been here to see that, but we have. But have you guys and the guys in your locker room seemed to notice that?
Yeah, that was actually crazy. Like emotions after the games, because I know like guys didn't win a lot last year, and we're like winning like 4 games in a row right now. Like every single goal, every single shift, like after everyone is like fired up and like, crazy emotions.
Get those first 4 wins, and now you've got a bye week. What does that? How do you treat the bye week, and how do you get ready, not lose a step in that week without playing another opponent?
So we just still working hard to getting ready for the next weekend, and like hard practices, hard workouts. That's it.
Obviously, being around at Michigan State last year, and being on road trips and seeing sort of how that helps build the team camaraderie, the team unity. How does this first road trip help you all? You know, being away from campus, being in the hotel, all being together on a road trip. How does that help to build that team unity?
I would say that we build it like month before or something for the road trip, and we knew where we're going. Like we are going to win these games, and so we were like nothing special actually. Like we know where we're going right now.